Welcome to another episode of From Amateur to Expert, the daily show in which we talk about your work, your wealth, and how you can become a leading name in your industry. Folks, if you haven't already subscribed, please do make a point of doing so. On this channel, we speak daily about high levels of ambition and achieving high-level goals. Now, of course, the more ambitious things you actually try, the higher both your achievement and failure levels are likely to be. So, there's something built into the system that says if you are aiming high, the chances are very likely that you will also have a high failure rate. Now let's talk about that for a moment. How do you deal with the setbacks? How do you deal with your own psyche, your own emotion? Well, the best answer to this one that I've ever come across certainly comes from a revered Austrian philosopher by the name of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now at this point I must try and do my best Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. I'll be back. Come with me if you want to live. Or perhaps more recently, based on his political career, vote for me if you want to live. Right, we're in character. In one of the Terminator movies, the Terminator character used this line. He was dealing with a John Connor who was panicking and falling off the rails, and he picks the character up and he says, "Anger is more useful than despair." Now, I love that. I think despair is a wonderful word to be able to say that way. But there's something fundamentally true about that philosophy. I'm going to give you a practical example of this one. As you know by now, I've published a number of books with Penguin, and it all sounds wonderful on the outside. But of course, writers often confide that for every book published, there are hundreds of submissions and years of agony that go on behind the scenes. And I can tell you that I'm no exception. I remember one particular day when I had submitted to a publisher and we had been going along this process for a few months and I really had my hopes up. And at the end of it, they turned around and very casually said, "You know what? Nah, we don't feel like it." And I can remember how devastating that was. Here's what I did though. I didn't allow myself to take a week and go into a slump and feel despair. Instead, what I did was I actually got a little angry. Now, in terms of professionalism, you don't get angry with the person who rejected you. You reply politely, you let it go. But what you do is you take that sense of anger and frustration and you turn it into positive energy. So that day I sent out 5 more proposals and received 3 responses that very afternoon. And of course that then helps you with a sense of renewed hope, renewed energy, renewed purpose. But what you don't want to do is allow setbacks to turn into a slow-mo resentment. Anything that causes you to shrink into yourself, to become less, to feel despair. Instead of that, turn it into anger, and then turn that anger into positive energy. Instead of responding with, "I'm useless," respond with, "I can do this, what's the next step?" Use that anger, and you could end up owning your industry. If you're enjoying these daily videos on how to position yourself as an expert, do remember that you can go a step further now. The book Own Your Industry, How to Position Yourself as an Expert is now available as a course. It comes with video inserts, quizzes, and it helps you to implement these ideas into your world. Visit futureselfacademy.com and sign up for Own Your Industry, the course.